Hey everybody, welcome back. Yeah, I was gonna do it. Let's do. You want to? Wait. Should we do it again?
No, man, continue. Go
All
for
right.
it.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Thought Jar. I'm doing the intro today. James told me to do the intro, so I'm doing the intro. My name's Adam, and I'm one of the co-hosts of Thought Jar, along with James, other host.
That's me.
And today we're going to be talking about what makes a man. Good, bad, ugly, in between. We kind of just want to talk about all things moral.
I believe the statement was the human condition.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's talk about the human condition.
Thought jar, really scoop into the bottom of the jar.
Yeah.
You know, what fundamentally makes us the jar? Is it glass? What makes a jar? What makes a man?
We wanted to talk about, like, I think for us, we've found that when we don't plan so much, I think that ironically that works in our favor because it allows us to freeform thought a little bit more. And I think that I think having too much structure almost inhibits the creative power that I know we possess.
Because the cardinal sin of most, if a lot of podcasts is the if you don't go in with any structure, you're gonna produce
you're
50
cooked.
minutes 50 minutes of, or however long your podcast is, of just indeterminate gobbledygook, and it's not gonna be entertaining for anyone. But you also there's overcorrecting, oversteering, where you try to format it so much that you don't really get quality thoughts, so to speak, because you're trying so hard to stick to like segments and time and XYZ. So we're giving a shot to this so-called freeform format where we're just gonna pick a subject and roll with it for a little bit.
Yeah, like I think in order for this to gain, for us to gain any like skill acquisition with this and practice, of
Or
just
like authenticity, maybe.
Yeah, just like sitting down and knowing how this operates, we had to have a more strict structure. And I think honestly, maybe we just got bored with that. And we're now kind of at the point where we want to let go of the reins, so to speak, and just kind of let it take us.
The horse is driving the carriage.
Yeah.
Now.
There's no carrot. There's no stick. The horse has just got a brain of its own.
We're going wherever the horse wants it.
It's got Starlink installed and it's going where it wants.
Yeah, we got the world's first Starlink horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
So
off to a great start.
Yeah. So I wanted to do this because I think it's really interesting to talk about, and not being specific in any regard, just saying I think that there's a lot of interesting points of discussion in regard to human psychological processes that have been occurring at a societal level for years now.
Hey, don't bite that, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's chewing on that.
And I think that it would just be interesting to talk about people and maybe not anything academically driven by any means, but let's talk about something psychological, because I think everybody has a psyche. Everybody understands psychology on a basic level.
This is the human condition as thought about by two people who have experienced. What are you up to, man? What's clacking? Does he have clacker balls? Oh no, it's his. I think it's his collar.
Phil is in here once again.
Yes, if you couldn't. Yes, for those who are just now joining us, we can hit the Patrick cam real quick. He is going to town on his arm, and it's rather distracting, honestly. Wow, Patrick, you go, dude.
He's chilling. He's good. I can feel it, his wetness seeping through my pants.
Yeah, so your jeans are probably gonna have a mark after this.
I'm gonna just move you. Hey, can I just
good
pick
luck.
you up and put you right there? All right, cool.
Little elephant of a cat.
Yes. So yeah. With that being said, I just think that everybody understands psychology at a very basic level. Everybody understands things like Stockholm syndrome, like very basic principles.
You think, therefore you am.
Right. I am
Rene Descartes.
So, I just wanted to start it off, by asking you, what do you think makes a good person? What do you subjectively or even objectively think qualifies somebody as being good or bad?
Good or bad? I mean, I guess it's the choices you make and what fuels those choices. So, every day we are a compilation essentially of every choice we have made and will ever make. You know, and then what drives a person to make those decisions, their wants, their needs, or what they believe is best for the group, probably drives those decisions and those choices. And that's, it's kind of, the rising in the sun and the setting and rising and setting. It's, they're evolving. It's like, well, I made this decision because I want this, and now because of this I'm going to make this decision because I want this, and so on and so forth.
So you think it's about the group, or you think it's about the self?
Well, ultimately, what's I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I think
It's like ego versus id.
most people make decisions based on how well it will benefit them, even if it's just like subconscious. You gotta look out for number one, right? So even if they are a very selfless person, ultimately, the decisions they make will also impact them, and it ultimately, I think, we make decisions because not because we know what'll benefit us, but more likely because it will go in our favor. Like, oh, if I do this thing, good choices, bad choices. If I do this, my outcome, my likelihood of success will increase. Whether it be, finishing that goal, attaining a goal, or like just completing a step in a process.
I think it's all like looking at outcomes as a function of behaviors at like an individual level.
Yeah. I mean, even though we are, living, thinking creatures, we still do operate as machines. We're just very complex and very, well, I'd say sophisticated. But dude, the human body it's really gross.
Yeah.
Getting a chance to work in a medical setting and seeing like the worst of what essentially what comes out of you, or if there's a malfunction or a disorder. But it's because we're machines, and like any other machine, we need upkeep, and it's constant. If you don't you don't eat, you don't drink, your system shuts down.
So like input output.
Yeah. So, and then going a step further with that, if you can think of us as complex machines, robots even, our decisions are binary. Or at least to some extent they are binary. You could boil down, I think, any choice or decision into a yes or a no question. It's like, I want this to happen, yes, no, so which pathway am I going to take to get there? So it's hard to really, what do you, like, quantify.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to pose this, because I knew that it would be something interesting, because you think it's so black and white when you think about it, like, oh, well, I know exactly what makes a good person in my head, or I know exactly what society defines as good and bad people. But I think individual and even societal morals should and do differ.
Yeah.
I think what we qualify as good people differ very greatly on an individual basis, but then at a societal level, I think that a lot of the things that we as people, individuals in a society dictate as good or bad come from what is dictated as good or bad at a societal level, and those change given if we're in like Western or Eastern society. With what I think Western society having, I mean, I wouldn't say a skewed version of what dictates good and bad. I just think that at the surface, you pay taxes, you have a home, that sort of thing. Like you kind of like smile and wave.
The Western world, I think, lives with blinders on.
Yeah.
Where it's just they don't see everything because they can afford not to see everything. That doesn't make them necessarily bad people. It's just because by providence of their position, they just why would they be in a place to think about those things, to make to be putting themselves in those positions. So it's not necessarily that these people are they're not bad by any means. It's just because they have those blinders on, whether or not they know they have them on. It's they are unaware of certain evil or bad phenomenon going on throughout the entire world.
Yeah, that skews their moral compass. Yeah. Like morals, I think, are very subjective, and then even like I don't remember, Ryan. I don't know if you can look this up if you have the ability to use Google.
I can.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Can you look up the difference what the definitive difference between morals and ethics is, because I can't remember. I think morals are subjective and ethics are like objectively right, but it's all like
ethics is the book and morals is what you feel.
I think so. I'm not sure. They might not even be related, but I think they are.
Internal for the first thing you said.
Morals.
External for ethics. So it's an internal feeling for
versus like the actual external behavior.
The exterior. Yes.
So the internal is kind of like the effect.
Mm-hmm.
The cause would be the ethics. Is that kind of what I'm
kind of,
so like if I kill somebody, that's wrong, but the justification behind it, that would be the moral implication.
Was it moral versus was it ethical?
Right.
Like
okay, should it okay, right. I think I understand a little bit more.
Like you know.
So we can all
point blank killing someone
is ethically wrong.
Ethically it's wrong, but morally was it a bad person?
That's where there's kind of like some gray area. So then
yeah, and then that pulls it back. What makes a good person?
So then so we can say like universally killing someone is ethically wrong. Mm-hmm. I think everyone can agree with that. But I think that in
God, I'd hope so.
Right. Not me though. That's why I just wanted to bring this up to let you guys know.
Right.
A
little loosey goosey with that one, but you know, I've been known to dabble.
Yeah. So like, I mean, we've all heard of cases where like, okay, as an example, daughter gets raped by a guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. Man finds out that man of daughter, father of daughter who was raped finds man who committed crime and kills him. I think that's a morally justified killing in my mind. Mm-hmm. So,
on paper, it makes perfect sense to do that. Right. It's just because we are.
But then it's ethically, he killed somebody flat out.
So it's like, well, what do we do? Well, then you have two different schools of thought where it's like, well, he's done something wrong. There should be consequences for that, yeah. Or he's done something wrong, but he's done something wrong because he's been wrong. Right. And it's just it's that where it's like, and then the moral justification is, well, is that enough to outweigh the ethical justification? Mm-hmm. And it just at that point it just comes down to the human decision.
Well, then it comes down to like, because I don't this is a question I don't know the answer to, but like our legal system, like I don't know how much it actually plays on this like gray area, because I think morals are kind of like a gray area, right? Because it's not something you can quantify.
Yeah, and then going further with that gray area, I think that we, in today's day and age, because of the speed at which information travels, it's incredibly difficult to not be reactionary.
Yes.
When information drops, where it's like, well, am I getting the complete story, or am I just falling for what they want me to do? They want me to react. They want me to, be emotional, to be, whether that be upset or happy at news XYZ. What keeps the gears oiled is the reaction. Is people whether it's outrage or joy or XYZ. That also is what essentially I think fuels our decision making and those morals. And
I think it's a slippery slope, because like you said, information travels at such a quick rate. With anything, like if something happens across the United States, we know about it in literally seconds.
Yeah, and it's hard to not react to try to take a second and be like, okay, I need to think about what I'm processing, and then it's unfortunate. I think it's been described as post-truth. We live now in a day and age where it's so easy to just
I've heard that term,
put misinformation out and then have it spread, especially with like the rise of we get information so quickly, and especially with the rise of AI, where things can be quality or believability is it varies, but things can be manipulated or even just a little bit to where it's like, well, what am I getting? Is this the truth? And it's we as younger people, we had the advantage of we've grown up around technology, and it was really hammered into us, especially like in school, especially when we first got like more technology in the school. So like when we were using the computer lab more, then eventually we were lucky enough to have the advantage of the school we went 1-to-1. So every student had their own Chromebook. So we all had that, that tool, that resource in our back pocket, and more and more kids our age get those tools and those devices at earlier times, so they're able to navigate those channels, I guess, a little more efficiently or have a little more wherewithal, because it was pounded into us. It's like, well, don't believe everything you see on the internet. It was pounded really hard, just to make sure it made a lasting impression. But it was so, like, I mean, hey, like, don't fall for phishing. Don't, are you sure you're talking to who you think you're talking to
because
on the
at
internet?
this time, these were still real people.
Yes.
Because now,
but now it's like, well,
different set.
Am I talking to a bot, or is it been? We're also getting so automated as a society that, like, no longer are there humans making these. So they might be or seem to be ineffectual, non-complex questions and stuff, but the more we automate those decisions, it's like more like it degrades more and more. So eventually the quality of decisions, those choices being made, as more and more of that gets taken over,
our decision making processes start to get less complex and less complex.
Yes. Yeah. And it's definitely being corroded, because the same advantage we had getting that technology at that certain age, for I think the generation behind us, while they're so tech savvy, they've been around computers since they were toddlers, infants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for some of them, because it wasn't regulated, they've lost that decision making process. They don't know how to make these decisions.
Yeah,
and so they have, I guess, for lack of a better term, screwy morals, because they don't know how to think for themselves. They don't have any core beliefs. They don't know. Objectively, they know what's right, what's wrong. Mm-hmm. But like, they don't have the wherewithal to take that extra step and be like, okay, I need to think this through, and what choice I can make, and then the effect those choices are going to have.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really interesting that we're starting to kind of segue into talking about AI and morals and kids' use of technology and AI, because there's a great book. One of our friends recommended me to read this book called The Anxious Generation, written by Jonathan Haidt. And Jonathan Haidt is a sociologist who I worked at NYU for a little bit. He's done a lot of really cool stuff. And one of the things that people are starting to just now understand is the implication on Gen Z, our generation, and technology. Because when you look at varying markers of, I don't want to say anxiety, but varying health markers as they relate to mental illness in people in our generation, people think, people our age are just being like, you see older generations look down to our generation and say, you're not working hard enough. It's all in your head. But I think part of it is very real, because what this guy is basically talking about in this book is that from 2010 onward, it started in the 1980s when you start to see an increase of presence in the home with mothers, or a decreased presence in the home with parents. I'm not going to get this right because I haven't finished the book. I'm only about halfway through. So, but the gist is that from 2010 onward, we see a very, very sharp incline in Western countries, not just America, Canada, a lot of European countries, but significantly in America. In anxiety, we see a sharp rise in depression, a lot of varying mental health markers that indicate that something is wrong in a given population. We only really see it in people born, I think, like Gen Z. So people who were teens to even slightly younger than that growing up when the iPhone came out. Mm-hmm. So it's correlated that, okay, because technology is now out, we have new things like social media. Because I've thought about this. You ever wondered what it would be like to grow up even into your mid-20s and not have Facebook? It would have been awesome. I think it would have been a really cool way to truly live in the moment and not be so attached to these automated reactions that we chase online.
Honestly, you that you mentioned that, like, people our parents' age, most of them were born in like the late 60s, 70s. Mm-hmm. So their childhoods were in the 70s. They were teens in the 80s, and they were young adults. They were our age in the 90s.
Yep.
Like, yep. I don't want to romanticize something I never experienced, but like on paper, that seems like a pretty great deal to me.
I think everyone, I maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel as though, I truly think that there are a lot of people our age who are kind of tired of technology. Like, it's a great tool, but it feels as though it is become so not just societally centric, but also kind of egocentric to a lot of people, wherein they can't live without it. They don't feel as though they could separate themselves or and their personality from the technology, because I see so many people that I know personally, that I know kind of parasocially online, who I think have crafted an identity that is completely separate from the one that exists in real life online.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and it's just
And
so
it's easy to do.
yeah. And now look at AI. Like, look at what AI is doing. Here, a great example is this. Did either of you see that historic snowfall in Russia that's been happening since December?
No, I did not see that.
There was, I forget what town it is, but it's in a northeastern peninsula in Russia.
So way deep in Siberia.
Yeah. And Ryan, when you could probably look up this name at some point, but it starts with a K. This town in January, and this was January like 15th, like was when this happened.
Is it like Kursk or something?
No, it's KAM. It's a very yeah.
Wait, so what is it?
So what happened was this town in northeastern Russia in Siberia. Excuse me. Received a historic amount of snowfall, and so when at the time when this was coming out, like January 20th, or no, like earlier than that, 12th of January, they had received already in January 7 feet of snow. On top of, in December, I think it was 12 meters of snow.
For our American friends, what's the
I think that's like
conversion on
or it's
that?
like it was like 9 meters, a ton. I don't know, a ton. I don't
Fuck tons is
over
that?
20 feet. I think
That's
over 20 feet of snow.
That's at least 2 tons.
But
minimum.
I would say like 2.5, depending on how many bucks you want to give on a given day.
For real.
But the thing about this is when you try to look up images, so many of them are doctored AI slop photos and videos. I could barely find 50% of my search results that were real.
Is it Yakutsk?
No, it was. Did you find it?
I looked up. There's just so many cold, snowy.
Did you look up historic Russian snowfall 2026?
Look, going back into like, I think our generation has a responsibility to like, to be sharp on detecting AI and seeing it when it, especially generative.
Right.
When like, I think it'll get better and it'll continue to get better because it's it's a learning computer. It'll get to the point where we won't be able to tell the difference no matter.
It's the Kamchatka.
Yes.
The cum.
Did you see the pictures?
No, I didn't see.
Okay.
I didn't look at pictures.
Kamchatka. Yes.
The Kamchatka.
Come shaka, bro. Come shaka. Come shotgun this beer with me.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun game.
Yeah,
Morally, I don't want to think about nothing except for beer.
Come shaka. But I guess then the question is, if that is our moral obligation, like I would say that getting back to what we're talking about, like morally, it is an obligation, right? I feel like most people subjectively feel a moral obligation to be able to responsibly parse through this information in a way that makes sense, not just for us, but for other people, because we want the responsible distribution of AI products if it's going to be a thing, because I'm sure everyone is aware at this point that AI is not going anywhere.
No.
And that sucks.
Like
to be
the bubble will pop, but it's not going anywhere.
No.
It will hit a point where we won't see it push as heavily, but I mean, it's still gonna always be present.
Yep.
It's kind of wormed its way in. It's here, whether we like it or not. It's just now now that it's here, what steps can we take to like recognize when something is AI? And I always feel like an asshole when I'm like, hey, I think that's AI.
Yes.
Or
Dude,
like,
it's got me. Have you guys ever had a moment where you're looking at something and I'm like, someone's like, hey, that's not real.
it's like, oh, this is awesome, and then you look a second further, and it's like, hey, this is AI.
Oh yeah, and I feel
hey,
really.
boo, this is AI.
It's a
like,
weird
aw.
feeling that I've like. I don't know if I've ever in my entire life actually seen something that was fake, and I have truly believed, except in a dream, where I'm like, oh, this is real, and then someone's like, no, that's fake. I take a second, analyze it a little bit more than I had been seconds prior, and then a stark look that I know is there, and people can see wash my face, and I'm like, damn,
Like,
got me.
It's like, and it's just that wave of embarrassment of, oh man, not that I knew better.
Makes me feel old.
It does.
Honestly. But I know that
It's gotten everyone.
yeah,
At some point, if it hasn't gotten you, it will get you.
you'll get God.
You'll get God.
You'll get fucking
because
real
it's
God.
because it's improving. It's constantly improving. And even when you can like still look at something and tell it's AI, it's still like, wow, this has improved so much versus even a couple years ago. So it's just as the human condition, as it gets as we move away from traditional intelligence and as artificial intelligence continues to increase, it's our I suppose our ethical duty to make sure, or excuse me, our moral duty to make sure that AI remains as ethical as possible.
But is it our moral duty? Because I don't know. Do you think? Because I know people that. I mean, usually there are people.
There are people our age who just don't care. Like, yeah, it's awesome. This is just AI.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I'm gonna use it for everything. I'm gonna use ChatGPT to make my plan for the day, or I'm gonna use it to do my assignments or do my homework.
Who is doing that? Who is honestly asking ChatGPT or Grok to hey Grok, what should I do today?
According to people I know who know middle schoolers and teenagers, a lot of middle schoolers and teenagers. Where it's just like, hey, what should I do today? It's like, what do you mean? What should you do today?
And this goes back to kind of what the book also.
We had a whole cartoon about, hey, what are we gonna do today,
bro?
And they did whatever the fuck they wanted to.
Yeah, they had 104 days of summer vacation, and
school might have come along just to end it, but you know what? They spent all 104 of those days getting up to some random bullshit. But they found something to do, and it wasn't just, hey, Grok, what should I do today? It was just you ask your boy, your Ferb, hey, what are we doing today?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I just the book also kind of talks about how kids need a certain amount of it's not called explorative, but discovery, right? You have discovery, which is given to kids and has been given to kids forever, which is basically that's when we say, okay, hey, go play. It's necessary for the routine.
Their development.
Yes, it is. And I think people miss that, but time and time again, it's not just novel data, it's old, time-proven, time-tested data that suggests kids need self-exploration. They need the time to go hurt themselves on the playground.
Because that's how you figure out, hey, these are the decisions I should make to avoid unfavorable outcomes.
And when they sit in front of screens all day, they don't get that.
Because it's done for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really is just in the year that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
2026. Woo! First episode.
Horned up.
Yeah. We find ourselves in a time where when less decisions we can be made for us easier and easier. Yeah. I think morals, going back to the corrosion of morals, it's probably expediting the process of how quickly we lose our core beliefs because there's an easier option available.
Mm-hmm. You know where I think all this started? Let me say this. You know where I think all this started?
Ronald Reagan.
Later than that, our generation. Reagan Bush 84 was the downfall of it all. Just want to say that. I'm putting that out there. Not going to get political at all, but I'm just saying Reagan Bush 84.
That said, old Ronnie Ray.
And Margaret Thatcher. Different country, whatever. But
anyway.
Here we go. Clash of Clans.
You think that was the start?
Play to win games. Dopamine hit. I'm telling you.
All started with those goddamn.
It was when I needed more hog riders, and I spent $20 off my parents' credit card, and I didn't tell them.
And I needed more gyms so I could get the 5th builder.
Yep.
So I could.
Yep. There it is.
So I could catch up.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody did it. Whether you asked your parents or not, it happened.
But hey, you take it a step further because that goes into the microtransaction aspect of it. Our Clash of Clans take a couple years later.
Now the Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yep, dude.
Maybe
it was Clash of Clans.
I'm telling you, man, the microtransaction thing, because Overwatch was just before Fortnite.
Or no, were they
same time?
Okay, yeah. But they were that was the first AAA game that used
Overwatch. I don't think it was the first one to use loot boxes, but I think it was the most popular one to use loot boxes.
Yep.
But at that time, it wasn't loot boxes for skins and cosmetics. Fortnite, it became, hey, you can just buy what you want from the store.
Yep.
Here's the outfits we have on sale today. Go buy it.
Was that the first game that really did that with that sort of microtransaction where you knew what you were getting? I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't say first, but they definitely did it the best.
Yeah.
And it's the model that I think has survived the longest.
Because Fortnite's been around since 2017.
Dude,
Fortnite's almost 10 years old.
Mordecai and Rigby are now in Fortnite.
Why? Why do we need any of this?
And guess what? I might buy that skin because I want it.
brother.
Hey, listen, I didn't say I was
You know
impervious. Hey, listen,
That's fine, me
you
either.
mentioned Overwatch. You're talking
I have-
talking to the king of spending too much money on
You
Overwatch.
know what? And we're sitting in the presence of the Zenyatta guy. So I mean, to be fair,
And you know what the worst part about me personally, the buying all those skins thing is? I don't even use that account anymore. It's my brother's account. He's the one the account that all that money was spent on. RJ has it. Wow. My Overwatch account, I think I have maybe a fifth of what the other one has. Granted, that was the one that, started when the game started essentially.
Nice.
I think we got that game in I think May of 2015, which I think is
twins.
Yeah, man.
2002.
I think there are a couple more zeros in there, but yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, dude, and like microtransactions are really interesting because you think about it in the same way that you would think about gambling. The way that gambling lights up someone's dopamine center. The way that, like, if you take a step back as someone who doesn't gamble, right, and you look at casinos, they are like adult addiction centers.
But what is gambling if not just randomized choice?
With what is supposed
With
to be
immediate reward or consequence.
Yeah.
Is that why it tickles our fancy so much? Is because it's like the spice of life decisions where it's like
It's
you can.
gotta be right.
I mean, even if you aren't gambling with a lot of money, if you're buying loot boxes, like, oh, dude, I got a legendary skin. This is awesome.
I've gambled before. I've done my fair share of slot machine gambling. Let me tell you. Here's the thing, dude. It's a funny button machine. All you do is
makes funny noises. It lights up. What more could you want?
In the way like that they are designed now, they have touch screens. They have like the LED lights that they have incorporated. The animations. It's like, okay, the difference between Franklin the Turtle and Cocomelon. When you look at the kids shows now, like Cocomelon is the worst stim maxing thing ever.
Just slop,
dude.
Truly.
It's dumb brain, smooth, no sulci, no gyri. It's garbage. But then you look at older shows like I use Franklin the Turtle as an example because that's like really slow. Like you've seen these
Canadian
videos.
icon,
Bro. Yes. Yeah. You've seen these videos before where they talk about comparisons when you put a kid in front of like 90s kids shows and shows now. The kid like actually is able to do other things while the show's playing when it's, an older show because it's not so fast paced. But now when you put them in front of like Cocomelon, for example, all they want to do is look at the show.
Like, yeah. And then, you go a step further with the way that we consume media now with like even going past DVR with streaming. If you pay to not have ads, it's just content stimulation.
I think I like having ads for that reason. That's a great point.
You get a second to like, okay,
it's like regular TV.
Because I can't believe we've circled back into like, commercials are actually pretty cool.
Yep.
But when I'm watching a program, my stories, if you will.
Program. What are you, 90 years old?
My Price of Right comes on at 4:30. I need to see them.
When Jeopardy comes on, I have to.
I need to know the high or lower on this Tide detergent, and they better not wish more than $8 because they'll be wrong. They always think it's more than $8. It's not. I'm more of a Wheel of Fortune guy anyway.
Yeah, check.
I lied. Jeopardy. Jeopardy's where it's at. Then you can play along.
I was a Family Feud guy. If I ever had to watch a game show, it was Family Feud. Just saying. I was gonna say Harvey Weinstein, but it's not his name.
No.
It is not his name.
Not at all. No.
Harvey.
Is it even Harvey?
I don't know. Is it Harvey?
Ryan, what's the name of the host of Family Feud?
What's his name?
We can see his face.
Steve
Harvey. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, there we go.
Yes,
we
Steve
solved
Harvey
it.
Weinstein.
Fantastic. But there definitely is that degradation of like programming.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were a PBS kid at all.
It was not.
But
Actually, it was not.
Well, like even I'd prefer other cartoons or other stations, but like after school especially, like I don't know what's gonna be on. Oh, PBS is on. A little Fetch with Ruff Ruffman. All right, I can watch an hour or two of that, and then because the shows I actually wanted to watch always were aired later in the evening. So like especially Cartoon Network. If you wanted to watch a Cartoon Network show,
anything good was from like 6 to 9.
Yeah, and then it kicks on to Adult Swim at 10.
The best.
I unfortunately was not allowed to venture to dip my toes into the Adult Swim.
Neither was I.
Pool.
I used to sneak downstairs and I used to put on Metalocalypse.
And I there was no effective way for me to sneak these things. so I just didn't consume them. But I got a chance to consume them at a later date in my advanced age.
Underrated Cartoon Network shows. I've got one. But you
can go first. No.
Okay, I don't know if these are underrated, but these were two that I really liked, and I didn't hear people talk about them as much in the moment. But now that I'm older and I have a more connected personal life with more people, Chowder.
Oh, Chowder is fantastic.
Was great.
I think we were privileged in the fact that we got some really cool cartoons that were unfortunately really short lived.
Yes.
I think there were some really cool 90s and 2000s like the MTV like adult cartoons, adult animation that like the Clone High and and shows like that were at least the pocket they existed in back in the day. But I think we got really good ones, especially with Cartoon Network. They were cooking. Do you remember like Secret Saturdays and
was that like the Teen Force that was like, no, what am I thinking of? It wasn't Teen Titans Go, no, I know that, but it was like a different. This guy had goggles. He had goggles.
Rex. Something.
There's a guy with a round
Generator
head
Rex. Huh? Is that Generator Rex?
But he was like a Hey Arnold like football head guy, and he had goggles.
That's Codename's Kid Next Door.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And that was really good as well. That was a
Yes,
very good show. If I wouldn't make a fool of myself, I'd attempt a father impression because I love doing his voice.
So you know what other show was great, and I think everybody can agree with this. And if this show was either too weird for people or it was just weird enough, and I was one of those people.
The Flapjack.
Yep.
Because I think it was somehow some way it was somehow uglier than Chowder.
Yes.
And I think that
like visually speaking,
and that turned a lot of people off.
Because it was like 19th century like wharf setting, like oh gross, like
because like SpongeBob perfected the gross up, so to speak.
Yes.
Flapjack had some fucking gnarly ones.
Dude, it was weird.
Like,
that show was weird.
Like that one's like, oh, the cat's here, and then it goes to the cat, and it's just two black voids.
Yep.
It's like.
I remember
scream.
There was an episode of SpongeBob, speaking of gross, since we're kind of talking about gross cartoon episodes. Do you have an episode of SpongeBob that you remember freaked you out? Because there was one episode in particular that I remember as a kid actually gave me like goosebumps watching it. There was one shot in one episode. And if we're thinking of the same thing, we're soulmates.
Not the why is it in a cage one? It's the one where it's like it just flash cuts to like the head of a bee.
No, I know that one.
Or like the butterfly, and it does like the swarming noise. That would freak the fuck out of me. But which one were you thinking?
I'm thinking of when I think both SpongeBob and Patrick went back in time and they met caveman versions of themselves, and then it zooms into Patrick's up teeth. That it freaks me out so bad, dude. Like the noise and everything, it just like gave me the heebies, man. Like he was gross. It just was unsanitary. Something about it triggered my little kid brain and made me feel unsafe.
Did you ever watch did you ever get the DVDs of the episodes of the seasons where it's like the complete first season of SpongeBob, and you'd put it on and it would do the episodes, but then it would do the credits. And it would just be the and then it would just be like the stills of the episode paintings.
I think so. I think
that gave me the heebie-jeebies because that song with nothing else going on. I don't know what it was. It just felt unsettling.
I didn't have that with SpongeBob, but I did own the SpongeBob movie, and the end credit song is "Ocean Man" by Ween.
Yeah,
and that I fell asleep one time in the middle of summer when I was like 5, and I remember the song was playing when I fell asleep. And it, like, for some reason kept looping, and I woke up and Ocean Man by Ween was also playing again, and that is why I remember that song, not because of the band, but because of that specific moment in time when I woke up drenched in, like, little kid sweat.
It's like 1 a.m, which is, like, unfathomably late for you. Oh, yeah. So you're like, what the fuck?
Why is the song still playing?
I think I had that happen to me with the Scooby-Doo, the first live-action movie. Where the menu music is the In the Land of a Thousand Drums.
Yep.
Very not fun to wake up to that one either.
No, not as good as Scooby-Doo 2 either.
Well, I think that's a conjuncture for a different day.
Well, yes, I mean it is.
I think we are rapidly approaching the end of our time. So we should probably put the lid back on this jar, man.
Put the lid back on the Scooby-Doo.
We did lose a little focus near the end there, but I think we gave him a good 30 minutes of Thought Jar's belief on on what makes a good person.
I'll say this, like, finishing up, and then if you want to give some 2 cents, you can say your piece. But I think at the end of the day, moral objectivity is always hard to determine. It's an indeterminate thing. That's why morals are subjective, right?
And no matter what we've said, this is an absolute. The one statement we said the most this episode is "I think" or "I feel."
Yeah, for sure.
So this is just.
We're not
us.
Academics. We don't understand the AI philosophy, artificial intelligence.
This is just what we've observed and the phenomenon that have had happened growing up in this age, and then now being fully frontal lobe formed adults, giving what we believe is or our opinions on the subject.
Like our salient opinion, albeit it's flippantly given. We give it with our fullest conviction.
It's like, it's what I believe in, man.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's never gonna go away. AI is never gonna go away. Morality is always gonna be subjective. But I think that as long as now this is hard, right? Because how do you know that your moral compass is actually true and subjectively good?
Is yours the most aligned?
Right.
Is it? Yeah.
I think just look at what the majority of other people view as right and wrong, and there you go. Because when you have a large data pool of people that give you good and bad answers, look at what the majority of people are saying is good, and just if you align with that, then you're probably okay.
So yeah, it's like if at the end of the day you don't have if people, when you tell someone something you believe in and people aren't like, oh, what the you're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm glad I posed this question because I think that as we gain confidence as a crew of 3,
and there is no definite answer.
Yeah.
There is no hey, I'm gonna give the definitive forever and absolute answer to this. It's just what we've observed in our time in this moment.
Yeah, and I think it's 3 guys and they're we're
mid-20s.
Yeah, for sure. I think we are the most qualified to talk about this because we're the ones who are affected by this. Probably the most. Like we've seen this since its inception, right? Like we've had the iPhone. I mean, I did not have the iPhone.
We grew up with it.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't personally have one, you knew someone who had it.
So
for me, it was Ryan.
Nice.
I remember you having the Snapchat filters and being like, dude, I want to play with that.
Can confirm. The OG dog filter.
These kids don't know, man.
Good times. Do you have any thoughts?
I think everyone's always doing, I think, what they believe is correct, and what one person thinks is the absolute best choice is going to be the complete opposite for a different person. But on that note, there is no absolute answer, as we've said. People, we could spend the next 4 hours talking about this and still come
We'd just be running in circles.
So, we've spoken what I think our truest opinion on the matter is. Do your best to be a good person. Do what you think is right, and it's okay. It's okay if you're not always 100% perfect because no one is.
True.
Just as long as you, what makes a good person?
Yeah.
Your effort.
Doing your best. That's right.
Just trying.
Yep.
Did you put your best foot forward?
That's what our PE teacher used to say during lifting practice in high school. It's about effort. It's about effort. It's about effort.
And safety.
And safety.
And safety first.
And safety. So be safe and give it your all. There you go.
Comment your favorite Cartoon Network show on your social media platform of choice when viewing this.
With no context, just put it out there.
Yeah. So, James, you wanna take us out?
I will take us out. So you can find us on Instagram and TikTok. I believe these episodes get posted to both Spotify and YouTube. We have both the audio and the video version. If you are just itching and dying to look at our beautiful faces, and say so, stream us wherever you can. We're always welcoming feedback, and thank you for listening. Come hang out with us soon.